which investments would you think would be good if the world population would shrink by 3 billion people within a decade? I think they're looking at this idea, what was that report that came out that's expected huge declines in
Deagle.
population. Deagle,
Yeah.
yes. So maybe they're referring to that.
And maybe Deagle was onto something for all. I mean, there are straws in the wind that are kind of scary about collapse of population. Well, I guess the closest analog that we can come to for that is the bubonic plague, which took over Europe in about 1330. Population dropped like 40%. So what are the consequences of that going to be other than mass chaos?
I think anything in automation would be really important, right? Because labor was a huge problem.
Yeah, and maybe raw materials like copper and palladium and platinum and nickel and things like that won't be as important because there'll be so much of it above ground, just an inventory to service a large population, maybe.
Klaus Schwab, his fourth industrial revolution, that idea is basically leveraging these robotics and automation technologies to replace human labor.
And I'm sure he actually, I suspect he may be right. Just because he's evil doesn't mean that he's not right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, robotics and the development of artificial intelligence, which are both proceeding apace, if they can hold the world together with chewing gum and baling wire for the next generation, we really will reach Ray Kurzweil's singularity. And you won't need 8 billion useless mouths, as they call them.
Yeah, as they call us, Doug, us.
Us. That's right.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things of this whole big question, though, is most the fundamental concepts around investment, they fundamentally rely on this assumption of growth of some kind. And in an environment where you have substantial degrowth, which is like the Greater Depression, you're talking about, in that environment, most investments don't work, right?
Yeah, exactly. There's no guarantees of anything, quite frankly.